Hey everybody, Kim here. Um, Today I want to talk about something that we all face and I've been personally reflecting on over the past week, um, and that's disappointment. And today I want to focus on disappointment in people um, because I've been reflecting on some things. I've been dealing with disappointment in people in various forms for years, and it's just a part of life, unfortunately, because people are fallible, and sometimes the disappointment comes because a person is sincerely unable to do something that they committed or keep up their end of the bargain, and it's not a personal affront to me. It's just something that happens. Sometimes I'm that person. There are times when you really have the best intentions, and sometimes you just can't do it. That's not the disappointment I'm talking about today. I'm talking about intentional disappointment that people refuse to be who they put themselves out to be initially, who they reassure you that they are working towards being. Intentional disappointment. And it's real. And unfortunately, as much as we dislike it and as much as we would really hope that people would be and do what they say they will be and do, doesn't always happen that way. There's this fact that I've come to have to accept for myself, and that is there's only two reasons why I'm disappointed. One, wrong person. Two, wrong expectation. Sometimes it's both. Wrong expectation from the wrong person. And so I tried to sit and think, how can I keep this from happening? And one of the things that I come to realize a couple years ago um, is that we enter into relationships with people, not just romantic, friendships, associations, business, all of these things. And a lot of times we put very little thought into the expectation of this person for this relationship. Or if we have them, we fail to communicate them to said person. And this is where the problem can come in. Before we buy a car, we investigate, we research, we find out reviews, we talk to people who may have had the car, we look and see how safe it is, and all of these different things before we go and buy a car. Before we buy a house, there's inspections and things that occur. Before we enroll in a continuing education institution, we search them out, we find out how much things cost, all these things. But when we enter into a lot of times when we enter into friendships, romantic relationships, we do no investigation or we do very little, and we barely ever have a conversation before these relationships begin and say, "Listen, this is my view of friendship. This is my view of boyfriend girlfriend courting, whatever you want to call it. This is my view of what I expect out of this relationship, and this is what I bring, and this is how I view friendship. And do you think you're a person who can do that?" And it sounds cheesy and corny, like, why am I going to sit down with somebody before we become friends and be like, this is what I expect of friends? Let me tell you why that's not cheesy or corny. Because anybody who has disappointed you, who you did not have that conversation with, are we really disappointed in that person? Or does the lion's share of our disappointment really lie with ourselves? Because I didn't even bother to tell you. You doing however you doing. I'm being accommodating and I'm saying, well, we don't know each other really well right now. They don't really understand, blah, blah, blah. And I give you excuses. Listen, there's a difference between giving someone the benefit of the doubt and trust. See, I learned the hard way because I had some friends that I thought were my friends that I thought we've been through some things. And I mean some things. And I thought that now, 20 something years later, we'd still be friends because we went through some stuff. And for the last, I don't know how many years, I've barely spoken to them. Not because I didn't want to talk, but because they decided, meh, I don't really want to talk anymore. And I had to evaluate myself then and reevaluate myself as I see some things happening in my life now and make sure that I set some parameters up front. Listen, I'm I'm a social person. I am not an introvert. I'm quiet. I'm observative now. First, but I'm a very social person. I love to hang out. I love to get together, have dinner parties, brunches, go to movies, walk around. All of that is me, right? But what I've discovered is at this point in my life, we aren't just going to do that haphazardly because I've got a lot of things that I'm doing. I've got a lot of time that could be elsewhere, spent, maybe better spent. So I have that conversation now. Oh, we gonna be friends. We cool. We cool. No, no, wait. Don't call yourself my friend yet. I get to establish that. And there's an analogy that my daughter's godfather used. He applied it to being a pastor, but it fits here. And his thing is, you're the bus driver. You're driving the bus. Your life is said bus. People will get on this bus for 2 stops and then get off. They will ride the bus from one end of the city to the other, meaning from the beginning of the ride to the end. There will be people who transfer on and off. There will be people that you can put off the bus because it's your bus. But it's basically a bus. And we get to decide, okay, before you get on my bus, let's discuss how long you're going to be on the bus. Because everybody that gets on the bus has a ticket. And they ride it until it's their turn to get off. But as your life bus, you get to decide, no, we don't know. I'm not the bus that you should get on. Maybe there's one coming behind me that will permit this type of intermittent behavior, that will permit disrespect, that will permit lies, that will permit you to disregard me for however long, and then when you need something, then I'll be that person. But I'm not that bus driver. And so many times, especially as women, we seem to feel like if we say and set these parameters up front, that we're harsh and that we're ugly words that people call us, and that we're bossy and that we aren't giving, and we no. What it is I'm protective of my space. I know the type of friend that I am. I know the type of person that I am. And I'm a dedicated friend. I'm a person, if I'm your friend, you can call me whenever. You can call me about whatever, and anything that I have, I will give. If it's at all within my power, I show up, I'm there. And I deserve that back. And I don't feel bad about saying it. And I have discovered that I value that about myself. And that's what I value that's what I want back. Reciprocity. And if you are unable, or more likely unwilling, to give me back what I give, we don't need to waste time and pretend that you're going to. And it's okay for you to say that. It's okay for you to feel how you feel and expect what you expect. This way, in the words of Thomas Jefferson, I'm going to read it so that I make sure I say it right. He said, if I am to meet with a disappointment, the sooner I know it, the more life I shall have to wear it off. If we have a conversation and you let me know up front, hey, I don't know if I'm that person. Okay, we don't need to go there. We aren't going to be friends. We can be associates. We can be civil. But I know now not to place this type of pressure on you that you weren't going to be able to meet. I'm not going to put that expectation on you because you that's not who you are. And rather than me waste my time investing in you, hoping that because I see some good in you, because I see some potential, because I see that you can possibly do this if you choose to, I'm going to invest my time, energy, money, space, prayer, all of that somewhere else, developing a different type of relationship. Because the sooner I know it, the more I have time for someone else, the more time I have to get over the fact that, okay, well, I thought we were going to be, but we're not. And I want to encourage each of you to, before you enter relationships, any kind, know your deal breakers, know what you expect, communicate that, and don't accept anything less. Now, I'm not talking about not being forgiving or not understanding that there are extenuating circumstances sometimes, but I'm talking about a pattern of behavior. Don't accept it because then our disappointment isn't really with them. We have to look at ourselves and say, no, girl, you did that. You kept letting it go on. So while I had to come to grips with the fact that I'm just not everybody's cup of tea. I don't know why. Pretty awesome. Um, but I know I'm not for everybody, and that's fine. But the people that I thought we would be down still, and I don't even hear from them anymore, it still hurts sometimes. But what I know is I did everything that I could. We had the conversations. I said, this is what I need. They said, I'm going to be better. All of these things, and it didn't happen. But at least I haven't been wasting time with it still. So I just want to encourage you that in spite of the fact that now I started crying, I'm such a crybaby. Those of you who know me personally know that for a fact. But know this, that you have the right to guard your bus and to let on whoever you want to and to put out whoever doesn't want to ride on the bus anymore. We do this in every other instance, every other parts of other part of our life. If you aren't going to do this, then child, you got to go. We are about that at work. We're about that in our community, in different areas. We'll tell other people, our friends and family, girl, no, don't accept that. But when it comes to us, when it comes to us, we're usually so willing to roll over and just take it. And all I'm encouraging you to do is to stand up for yourself. Because if you're a good friend, you deserve a good friend. So sit down sometime in the near future, write down some stuff about who I am, what I like, what I don't like, what I want, what I don't want, and have these conversations. Even if you've been friends with somebody and or in a relationship and things aren't progressing the way you want, and you find yourself having to accept or make excuses or overlook all the time, it's probably time to evaluate it and say, okay, from this point on, let's have this conversation. This is what we're going to do. I can't do it anymore. And so if you can meet these stipulations, then we can continue. Because if not, I'm sorry. No, not I'm sorry. Because if not, I'm going to have to remove myself from the situation. It's hard, it's difficult, it's unpleasant, but it's necessary. Because you deserve reciprocity. You deserve to get a return on your investment. You're not going to go invest in some stock and then just be so accepting when your stockbroker tells you, oops, I kind of keep messing up. I know this is the third investment, but see, we real funny about our money. Don't play with that. But my heart, oh, I'll just take this. I'll take it one more time. I'll look the other way one more time. I'm gonna, I'll accept it. You deserve better. We deserve better. So let's get it. If you know somebody who this can benefit or help, please share. Um, Follow me on Instagram, mpower540, on Twitter, mpowh, here on Facebook, Empower. Like the page, share, subscribe, follow, and leave me a comment about what topics you would like for us to discuss. I'm trying to get y'all to be more interactive. I appreciate everybody who shares and has followed the pages, but do me one better and leave me a comment about what you want us to discuss. And I'll see you next time. It might be more about this disappointment. It may not. We'll see. Um, because I believe it deserves some attention. So, anyway, have a great week or a couple days until the next time I talk to y'all. Bye.